how to make it interesting to you. So today I'm going to switch corners. I'm supposed to be doing it in my journal, but I just found a really good website. It's called Find a Grave. And I found a lot of information that I want to verify that I already have in my genealogy. So we are going to share my screen and bring up my family tree. You'll get a little look into what I have. This is the collective that I've got put into, not what I have altogether, but what I've put onto the computer. And today we are going to look for William, because that's who I was looking for, because that is Granddaddy Tony's name. William Washington. Okay. So this is the one we're looking for. However, the one I found is Martha Scarborough, is this William Tony. So I want to verify the information on this William Washington Tony. This is, if you chase it back down, let's go down where we're at. We're going to go back to William, this William, who is his dad. And we'll go down Joseph Edward. And then we're going to go down this William Washington. And then we'll go down Clarabelle. And here we will find Tim. So we're just going back this generation's backwards. Okay. So we're going to go back and pick up. Let me get me out of here again. Ooh, I didn't realize I could make me bigger. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to go up here to William Washington and Minerva, and we're going to pick up William, who has a William Washington of his own. I can only do this because I have been doing it for so long. These names come together quickly. Now, when you're doing it, you're going to want to take your time, go slower. Make sure that the information that you found that you want to double check is what you have. If not, consider the source that you found it from. Like this is from Find a Grave. Find a Grave is a system online where you can hunt up, they show you grave markers, but now they've incorporated family members and little stories about families and everything. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to verify this William Washington's birthday, which they had on there 7/4/1875, just like I do, and died October the 19th, 1952. And I have him buried at Dothan. So I have all that. But Martha Scarborough, I did not have that. Her middle name is Frances. Now, Mom always insisted we spell it with an E, but since this was what was in the Find a Grave site, I'm going to leave it at I. But generally, an I in Frances refers to a male, not a female, but who knows? So she was born 11/15/1876. I'm just copying, if you're wondering, copying it off of what I wrote down off of the thing. You have to be really careful in doing that. Whoops. My numbers lock must be off. 11/15/1876. And she was born in Kentucky. You wonder how people that far away, because back in the later part of the 1800s, they would have had trains and horse and buggies and maybe even an automobile or two. I don't know when they first had the first automobile. Excuse me. But Kentucky is a long way from where we're at Nancy, West Virginia. So, and these were in Dothan, West Virginia. So that's where she was born. She passed away 5/18/1882, and you have to be very cautious. Put it in once, double check you put the right dates in. And obviously I did. Oh no, I did not. See, that's why you have to double check it. It's 51. I'm doing even wrong. Sorry, guys. Is 1876 is correct. And her death date, because I'm looking, see, that's why you have to double check. Don't just stick it in there and say, okay, I'm right. Okay. Now, see, that is correct. And the reason I know that is correct is because her death date right here is, her death age is 84, and that's what they said she was. She also died in Dothan, Fayette County, West Virginia, and is buried at the Peters Cemetery in Dothan. So now we have her all filled in. So that is pretty cool. Let's see. What else do we have on this particular part here? They had, in addition to Albie and Artie, they had, that's only two Grandpa Tony knew to tell me, that Barbara, Marie, and they called her Barty. She was a female. And she was born in 1905. And she died in 1995. And she is also buried at the Peters. Oh, come on. This thing does that to me every once in a while. It's not the program, guys. It's not the program. It is the computer that I got. It doesn't play well with me. Okay, then she had a William Tony, William J. Was born 1907 and died in 1964. All right, that is correct. And then she had a Myrtle Ina Tony, who was born in 1916 and died in 1998, and is also buried in the Peters Cemetery. Okay, now Barbara had a spouse with the last name of Gray. We're just going to question mark Gray, because that was her name on her cemetery. And Myrtle had a last name, two husbands actually. First one was a Brit. Not Britain. I hate auto spell. Like you don't know what you're spelling. Okay. And then you go over here to her name, pick up this, and then add a spouse. And his last name was Root. So now we know name. This gives us a jumping off point. If we want to find anything more about Myrtle Ina Tony, we know that she was married to a Brit, and then she was married to a Root. So that gives you a little bit of a jumping off spot. Currently, I have no need to go deep diving in, but if I happen to run across another piece of information that says Myrtle Root was a Tony, and then I can, if I want to add that information in, I can. So always try to keep your information going as strong as you can. So then we're going to go back to Minerva and check her information from what I found online. And it says her birth date was 3/13/1952. or hers, they say it's 3/13/1950 or 1851, and I have March the 12th, 1852. So what you can do with that is go into the person part of this and go into add a fact, go into death. Okay, then you can put in the 3/13/1851 as an alternate day. And that way you can have that as well. But you know, if you look in the future, you'll be able to find out which one is the correct date and delete that item. Now we'll go back to the tree. Says her death date was, this one says 5/18/1882. So, we'll have to do the same with this. Okay, we're going to go back to person and go back. Oh, I put that was her death. Sorry. That should have been her birth. We'll put a new date in for the death. I am just screwing you all up all the way around. But this is why you have to pay attention to what you're doing. And I was not. Sorry. Birth. We're going to put down an alternate birth date, which is 3/13/1851. Okay, so now we're going to put alternate date. So now we have two alternate birth and death dates. So when we can find something that's legitimate, like a death certificate or a birth certificate that has that on that, then you can. These are information that we got from a gravestone. So although that's as close as you can come right now, that because it does not go with the information that I have, I'm going to put it in as alternates. That way, if something happens and I find out an official piece of paper that this is correct, then I'll take the other one out. Okay, so that one is done. And then the next one, we're going to go back to people, or back to tree, actually. And we're going to go to look up Kreger, Kreger. Okay, so now if you see there, we have two of them. So let's check the information on both of them. This one, January the 4th, or 1st. And this one doesn't have anything. So let's see about him. See, there's two different husband's dates. So this is one that evidently is a different one. Anyway, we're going to run with this one. This is the one that we wanted. So we now have her. She had an alternate husband of Hewlett. Now we can put his name in because we already had that in there. Henry J. Hewlett. So now we know that his name was Henry J. We know that she had a husband before she married the Tony, but now we know what his full name is. And let's find her. Okay, so we do have the correct date and where she was born and when she died and where she's buried. Okay. And let's see, let's go back to Henry because we also have birth and death dates on him. His birth date was 1852 and his death date was 1880. All right, so now see we have information. Don't know where he was born, don't know where he passed away. I'm assuming it's here in Fayette County, but I do not know that. I don't know where he's buried at. I don't know anything more about him other than he was married to Clementine Kreger before William Tony was married to her. Okay, so we have William, and his birth date is correct. His death date is correct. When they got married is correct. And let's go back to her. And her father's name was Joseph Henry, and her mother's name is something I did not have in here. So there we go. And it doesn't say when she was born, but she lived in Smith County, Virginia. All right. So there we go. Now we're going to be looking for an Emily Williams. We got it down to Williams. Emily. Okay, let's see. We got two Emilys. All right. So it tells me, oh, it doesn't tell me who her parents are. Okay. So we're just going to have to run with the thing. I am thinking 1860, 1859. We're not going to do that. We're going to um, go with this one because this one has the birthdays, but it says she's married to Mary and Augustus. So they are the same. So now you can go up into person and merge two people together and pick the one you want to merge with so that you don't have double names in your thing. So now we have Emily Williams, who is married to Mary and Augustus Tony. And her father is Isaac Williams. So now we're going down the line. She was born, let's see, it says she was born 8/12/1859. And since it was just generalized for the 1860, I'm going to change it. And this one says she died 5/6/1939. Okay. And she was married to Mary and Augustus Tony. And they got married in he was born in 1844 and died April 23rd, 1926. And he was buried at the Peters Cemetery. Okay. Okay. And then he was married a second time to Amanda Treadway. And since I do not have her birth date in there, I'll put that in, which was 1844 and 1876. Oh, this thing goes slower than my brain wants it to think that it's going. 1876. Okay, and they had their children is George Washington. Put his middle name in because I didn't have that. And he was born 1877, died in 1962. That is correct. Then we have Josephine, 1881 to 1868. And she married put her up here so I can put her in. She has two husbands. The other one was West, because that's what's on her marker. And then let's go back to them and find Dewey. Here he is. Dewey. They spell it Dewey. Herbert. All right. And he was born 1898 and died in 1966. So there it is. It's easy to find your information wherever you find it at. Just make sure that you're checking things to where that they're doing good. Let's see. We're going to go back to Marion Tony, and his dad was Jesse Tony. Check his birth date, 1803, 6-1. Yes, October the 11th, 1857. That is correct. Married Sarah Amanda. I did not know her first name was Sarah. And she's buried at the Peters Cemetery. Okay. And she also married she was a Gerald to start with. And she married a Roop after Jesse died. So let's put that in. Second husband. You need to know this information, not just her married or her maiden name, because if you are going to the cemeteries and you are looking up names, you are 100% sure that person is buried there. If they had a different married name, that is where you are going to find the marker that you're looking for. So you got to keep a looking around. Okay, and her parents' name is Gibson and Sarah. So those are correct. That is her name. Now, they had kids, and we have James. Oh, let's see here. We got a James Harrison. There we go, Harrison. Got to put James in front of his name. And he did he. And I'm going to change it because that's what it says on his marker. 1833 and died in 1898, 96. Okay, and then we have Robert Poindexter, which is next. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Sorry, guys. I have got to go back to her and find this one. Why they would call two kids James, I don't know, but no, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave this go. I'll take this part out because that's not correct. Robert Poindexter, 1834 to 1914 is correct. I got to put a question mark beside this one so I can do some more research on it. Okay. Robert Poindexter is correct. I'm going to take this. Oh, okay. I've got it back to it. William M. Okay. His dates are correct. So let's put an M in his name. Oops, I need to put a space in between that. All right, so we got that one's correct. Now we got down to Harrison Tony, which is 1849 and 1934. Good thing I didn't change that. Albert J is 1851 to 19, I got 1924. So I'll have to check that one out too. Okay, let's see why he said, let's just bring him up on this up here. Let's see what they say. Okay, we're going to make sure we got the right one and web search. Let me not put my password in with you all watching. So let me pause you up here. Put this in. Okay, now we'll resume. Okay, so Harrison Tony. Julia Perkins. That is who he's married to. So that is him. Let's go into this Henderson file and look and see what he has. He has the same thing that I have. Oh, and he has pictures. Awesome. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge this detail into here. Harrison J, because I don't have the J in there. Make sure everything else looks good. We're going to merge the father in. And merge the mother. Next. Merge the wife. And see, since they're both the same, I'm going to ignore that one. There's no sense of putting two in. Isaac Cleveland goes with Isaac. Okay, let's see. Amanda? It must be Amanda. They must not have spelled it correctly. Let's go back and merge that in with Amanda. Ida Jane. I've done seen her name 3 times, come up 3 times today, guys. Lewis. Oh, I don't have Lewis. So we are going to add Lewis. Della, we have. Colbert. And this is how it is, guys. This is how you figure out all your stuff. Make sure you're looking at it to make sure if it isn't information that you need in there, that you skip over it. Like this no name stuff, you don't need to take up all your space from that. And it's just going to merge it in, and it should. Okay. This is Harrison Tony and Amanda Gerald. So we will, I think I have those pictures already. Let me double check in my file here. Yes, right there. Amanda Gerald is in there already. And Harrison is in there. So I've already got the pictures. Okay, so now we're going to go back and see what our file says. So now we are right. This was correct. What I don't know what they were thinking in that, but okay. And then Sarah Jane. Okay. 1954. We don't have her death date of 1931. So we'll add that in and pull this off. Okay. That was the sibling. Okay. So now we'll go back to Marion and find the kids. Mary Louise. I did not have that. I love finding information, guys. I'm only going to keep you on here about a half hour or so, and then I'll wrap it up, and then I'm going to continue working. I have to leave here at 2 o'clock to go to a parade, but I'm going to work on this the rest of the day, and we'll bring you back for some more research next week if I find anything juicy. Not, we'll figure out something else to do. Okay, so we have that one, and she has a, let's see, she just has the one, but the thing that has his name spelled Schroyer, so instead of Sawyer. So I'm simply going to put a dash here and put Shoroyer. So that way, if something comes up and I'm trying to look for that name and the Sawyer comes up before the other one does, I will know. And she was born in 1868, died in 1964, so all that is correct. We'll go back to Marion. We've got Rebecca Jane. Yay, finding good stuff today. For most of you all, this probably seems boring, but this is the thing that you have to do if you're going to be doing all genealogy. Now, if you just want a direct line, just simply go back from your dad's name all the way back as far as it can go. That's great. You know, you'll know where you came from. I'm not saying anybody has to do anything like I'm doing. Josephine Tony married. See, and this one is saying that is Wickline, but her thing is also saying West. So we're going to put West behind it. And that way, no matter which one I come up with that says that's her husband, I can just delete the name off of it. Okay, so let's go back up here. Go back to this one and see if we can find a Rosie Ellen. And she married, and see this one? I'm going to put that one in as a second husband because that name is completely not the same. And we're going to put a question mark, Milam. Because we don't know if that's the same person or not. So we can't just ignore the fact that she may have had two husbands, even though, you know, it didn't say that on there. Okay, and the last one that I have that they had on their thing is one named Dewey. All right, and we got him in there. Okay, now on a note section on Marion, we're going to add in a note here. It says, he was a sharpshooter for the Confederate Army. his son, Theo, was murdered in the coal mines of West Virginia for trying to organize a union. I believe that's supposed to be Anne. I'm going to leave it A because this information is from John Foster. Find a grave. Okay, so now that one's done. Now we're going to go to the last two pages. This is just filling in, making sure that the information that I found today is good. We're going to go to Tony again. Well, I've got Tony up, so let's just go down to Ethel, Fanny. I found her grave at the Willistown. Okay, so then there we know where she was. She died in 1987. I put that in the wrong spot. I bet y'all's laughing at me. There we go. Now we got it in the right spot. She was married to Noel Ellison, and his name was Noel Ernest Ellison. So there are pieces and parts that you've been elusive your whole life trying to find, that little teeny tiny bit just excites you. I know it probably is not as interesting to you all to find this information out as it is to me, but it's interesting to me. I would love to have every single line that I'm working on filled in uh, with the most correct information that there is available. And he was born in 1886 and died in 1939. Okay. And then we have Annie. And it has hers born in see, it had it in 1926, and I know that's not right. She died in 2008. And she's buried at Good Hope. So I've got all that in there. And then her daughter, Rosie, was born in 1962 and died in 2012. So we got all that information in there. And now we're going to look for a Harrison Tony. Not a William Harrison this time, just a Harrison Tony. Boy, if I didn't go by fast. So see, there's several of them. This Harrison Tony, Mary Julia C. Perkins. There we go. All right. So she was born in 1856 and died in 1929. And all that is correct. And she is buried at the Tony Cemetery. Okay. And they had Samuel Samuel has a T in the middle. No, he was just called Sam. Born in 1875 and died in 1943. Ida Jane, here she comes again, then for the fourth time. 1879 to 1951, 50, and she married a lion. Lyon. Okay. And then we have a Lewis. Right there he is. And his middle name is Walker. Born 1877, died in 1938. Carl. His name is Arthur. He was born in 1886 and died in 1938. And then we have Dima, who married a perfader. Okay. And she was born in 1892 and died in 1976. And then we have Della Beatrice. Okay. She was born in 1899 and died in 1992. And she married a Payne. All right, guys, I got one more to go in, and we're going to be looking up Luther Harrison Tony. There he is. And he was born in 1911, died in 1962, and is buried at the Good Hope Cemetery. All right. All right, guys, that is the information that I was able to find off of Find a Grave. And I just looked through a couple of names, just the Tony and the Johnson. I got more over here, but basically just the Tony side to verify what I have in and to add in stuff like middle names and stuff like that and where they're buried at, because I want to be able to take some trips to the cemeteries this summer. There is several people that I found that was buried at the Westlake Cemetery that I did not know was buried up there. And then there are some that are buried. I haven't been to the Peter Cemetery in Dothan, so I haven't been there at all. I'd like to go there and take pictures so that I could add their pictures as part of the media in this family tree website. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I don't know how long this has been, but it's been long enough that hopefully I have struck an interest in you and finding your information. Hopefully you can, if nothing else, travel along with my journey. And if you spot a name that you say, oh, yeah, I see that, but I have this information, please reach out to me. Give me the sources where you found your information, and I will be happy to double check with mine and see if it needs to be altered. I am not above altering it if the facts back it up. All right, guys, you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.